How does a man who unalived a 6-year-old boy only do 10 years out of a 20-year sentence? How do you even only get 20 years? We're going to listen to this story and we're going to let me know how you feel down in the comments. This is ridiculous.
Tonight we told you that Ronald Exantis has been granted parole. He was serving a 20-year sentence tied to the 2015 death of Logan Tipton.
Tipton's family and many members of the public are confused as to how a man accused of murder could be released from jail so soon.
WKYT Samantha Valentino has reaction from the family as well as a forensic psychologist to explain the case.
December 7th, 2015.
It's the day Logan Tipton's life came to a tragic end and when the Tipton family first heard the name Ronald Exantis.
Exantis broke into my home and stabbed my 6-year-old son to death.
This week, the name Ronald Exantis came up again in a phone call the Tipton family says they never wanted to receive. After being sentenced to 20 years in 2018, Exantis has now been granted parole.
The justice system is all about the criminals and it's never about the victim. My grandson was just 6 years old.
How do he only get 20 years? Like, how do you sentence someone who murders somebody, a child, first of all, you broke into somebody's home. This is shouldn't that be murder one? 25 to life? And I don't even believe in the 25. I think that's the minimum for murder one, because he committed a murder while doing a crime. I thought that made it murder one, premeditated or committing a murder in the continuance of a crime. I thought that was murder one. I could be wrong. If you're a lawyer, let me know in the comments. But I thought that was automatic murder one. He broke into someone's home. He then stabbed and murdered a 6-year-old child. How do you only get 20 years?
He never got to grow up, they didn't give him justice.
While this tragedy happened in Woodford County, the trial was held here in Fayette County. It's where a jury found Ronald Exantis guilty but mentally ill of stabbing Logan Tipton's 2 sisters and his father, but not guilty by reason of insanity of murdering 6-year-old Logan.
One of the hardest things.
Whoa. So he stabbed multiple people. He stabbed the child passed. He stabbed 2 women. He stabbed the father. That's attempted murder, and murder. He got 20 years. See, this is what people talk about when they say the justice system is broken. And then they're saying because he's mentally ill. I don't give a fuck if he's mentally ill. Guess what? Then you can serve your life sentence because you're never coming home. You'll never be amongst normal people ever again. And a psych ward. I don't care where you serve it. You're going to be in jail or you're going to be in a psych ward for the rest of your life. But you will never be free again. I'm sorry if you have something wrong with your brain, but guess what? You have made your problems their problems. Once you make your problem somebody else's problem, you have to deal with the consequences. I wish Dad would have had a gun and could have just ended him right there for all that. And this is why it's important to have a firearm in your home if you're not a felon, because I don't want you to go to jail.
Things I ever had to do in my life was come home and tell my kids that he was innocent from the murder. And they're young. They're saying, well, how is he innocent from the murder? We watched him do it.
Dr. Dustin Wygant is an EKU professor and the executive director of Integrated Behavioral Health.
The jury felt that there was sufficient evidence that his mental state at the time that the murder took place was sufficient to find him not guilty by reason of insanity.
In its opinion upholding Exantis' conviction, the Kentucky Supreme Court found each count could be considered individually, and the jury could have reasonably believed Exantis was lucid at points during the times of the attacks.
The jury must have concluded that, for whatever reason, in that separate time period, we're talking about a single kind of event, but that separate time period, that there wasn't sufficient evidence to find him legally insane.
In Woodford County, Samantha Valentino, WKYT.
The Tipton family says they were notified that Exantis would serve 6 months of parole in Florida. The Kentucky Department of Corrections tells us that he will remain under probation and parole supervision until the expiration of it.
Man, nobody want to hear this shit. This man, he broke into someone's home, crime. He broke into somebody's home with a weapon, crime. He broke into somebody's home with a weapon and started stabbing the family up. And he received 20 years only, which is a travesty. And then on top of that, he's home in half the time in 10 years. So he had a 10 to 20 for murdering a child. This is one of the most ridiculous stories I have ever heard. And I'm pretty sure there's tons of these stories out there, but this just came across my timeline, and I just had to react. So what do you think about this? Are you as aggravated as I am? Are you more aggravated? How do you feel about the justice system? This is bad. But anyway, I'm Gary from FitnessFirstNutrition.com. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.